Good day, this is Kathleen Balahay from BS Criminology 2C, and today I'm going to discuss the first aid and water safety. So next. So for today we're going to define what is swimming. So swimming is a form of exercise that involves strokes and movements that allow a person to move on or under the surface of the water. So we all know what is swimming, and I know mostly of us have tried this sport. Next, so different personal safety. So the first one is learn to swim well enough to survive in an emergency. Second, never swim alone and swim only with buddy who has the ability to help when necessary. So third, swim only in supervised areas. Fourth, follow the rules set up for a particular pool, beach, or waterfront. Fifth, learn the simple and safe reaching rescues. And sixth, know how to administer artificial respiration. And seventh, know your limitation and do not overestimate your ability. So next, the eighth one, stay out of water when overheated or overtired. Ninth, stay out of water during electrical storms. 10. Dive only to known waters or sufficient depth. 11. Do not substitute inflated tubes or mattresses or other artificial support for swimming ability. So 12. Always swim a safe distance away from the diving boards and platforms. 13. Avoid long periods of immersion and overexposure to the sun. 14. Take instructions under qualified instructors before participating in any aquatic sports such as skiing and scuba diving and water skiing. So the fifth and last one, call for help only when you really need it. So these are the safety precautions while swimming. So next is different hazards in aquatic environments and its management. So the next one, for every type of environment, there are always relative hazards for people. Since aquatic environments are not natural environment for humans, there are more hazards in one environment than in others. Even if one is already a trained swimmer, he or she may still experience these dangers when the situation arises. Hazards may either be personal, such as cramps or panicking, or environmental, such as waves, currents, and aquatic features. So this is much understandable that aquatic environment has its dangers too. Even for trained swimmers may have to experience dangers while in water. So next, discuss the hazards that may experience while in water. So first is cramps. Cramps are sudden and involuntary contraction of a muscle, usually affects muscles between two joints. Cramps are usually caused by three things: dehydration or electrolyte loss, overexertion of the muscle or exhaustion, and unnecessary tension. So these could be occurs in stomach, back, and so the most common one is the leg. So next, so to manage the cramps, the management of cramps, we need to first prevent muscle cramps by stretching the muscles to be used in swimming, such as arms and legs, before going in the water. So the second one, cramps may also be prevented by having a proper meal and drink before swimming. So this is more important. In swimming, you need to have a full meal, a proper meal, and you need to drink water before going into the water. So the third one, when cramps occur while swimming, minimize the activity on the affected muscle and get out of the water as soon as possible and stretch the muscle until it relaxes. So the fourth one, if getting out of the water immediately is difficult, perform survival swimming and stretch the muscle until it relaxes, and then proceed to the task of getting out of the water. So the fifth and last one, if cramps persist, call for help, continue performing survival floating while waiting for rescue. So these are the management of the cramps, and I hope that you get to apply this when hope not and I'm not wishing to do so, but if unfortunate dangers will happen, this management will be applied. So next, so 4 types of people swimmers in need of rescue. So these are the victims, like drowning in the water. So first one is the tired swimmers. So what are this? So calm and will reply to spoken words. So these victims may still have the calmness and will able to answer questions. So the second one is panic swimmers. So what are this? So poor swimmer, frightened and frantic, must be approached with a situation. Contact should be avoided. Speed is important, will remain in the water for several minutes. So unlike fertile swimmers, they are calm, but here in panic swimmers, they are poor in swimming, they are afraid and frantic. So the next one would be non-swimmers. So it means that lacks the ability to remain at the surface and generally will submerge in less than a minute. So unable to call or wave for help, and must be recognized on the basis of his inadequate movement and facial expression. And next, unable to grasp an object thrown nearby. So the last one, speed in rescuing this type of victim is very essential. Unlike for the before, like for the panic swimmers, they are frightened and are scared, but here in non-swimmers, these are the swimmers that don't have experience or don't know how to swim, and they need to be rescued immediately. So unaided, unconscious victim, so may float at the surface or sink at the bottom. Speed is most important or necessary. Breathing may have stopped and artificial respiration must be started as soon as possible. So for the fourth one, the victim may sink or submerge at the bottom. So the rescuer should immediately rescue this and breathe, and CPR or any first aid actions should be take for immediate. So safety and rescue equipment and rescue techniques. So the first one is this is a lifeline. These are buoyed lines that mark and separate swimming and diving limits. It is an emergency. It can be used as temporary support to a tired swimmer. So this is like a rope that will support the body of a swimmer, and this should it will support, used to temporary support to a tired swimmers. They're gonna tie this to your body and going to support you to when going to the water. So booms, so these are made of good legs and chained together and are often used to enclose an entire swimming pool area, especially in streams and rivers. It serves as a breakwater and emergency offers support and protection. So booms, this like logs that will make like enclose a pool or a area, a swimming pool area, that for protection for children or for people who don't know how to swim or something like that. So next is the shepherd's crooks and the ring buoy. A reaching device known as the oldest piece of gold rescue equipment. The blunted hook is large enough to enclose the entire body of the victim and is unconscious and unable to hold the light weight aluminum, far more effective and usable. So it's like a hook, and then the rescuer will hook the victims and will go to the safest place. You're gonna pull it and go to the safest place. The ring buoy. So the ring buoy, a throwable device considered as a standard equipment used at the pools and beaches. It is an 18 diameter buoy made of solid buoyant plastic and weighed about 2 to 1/2 to have ABS, made of the grab line and 50-foot retrieving line are made of 1/2 line, 1/2 inch polyurethane. So this is like a very common equipment in rescuing, and I know that you are most likely familiar to this object. So the next one, Haveline. Any lines, a strong line properly coiled and thrown can be used to extend the rescuer's reach to 30 to 40 feet. It's like this line, and it will be thrown for rescuers to assist them, for it will not be thrown away by the water, raging water. So safety post. So a homemade safety post can be constructed from easily obtainable materials and should be set near water at any point where swimmers might get into difficulty or in trouble. So it's like a safety instruction for swimmers, and like in swim pool, in beaches, that contain information, safety information, and how to survive in water. So precautions for these swimmers. So the next and last one, this is the backboards. So backboards, spine standard rescue equipment at all swimming facilities. Spine boards can be made from inexpensive materials, varnished with several coatings of good spar, and should be kept ready. Exterior or marine, 3/4 inch plywood, 18 inches by 16.5 feet, should be rounded at the corners and equipped with hand tie down hose to provide handholds and place to rescue restraining straps. Runners should be attached to and run the length at the bottom of the board to make sliding the victim out of the pool easier and smoother, and save the rescuer fingers when placing the weight board on the deck. So I know this is also a familiar equipment for you. It's like it will help the rescuers to place the victims on top of the board. And rescue techniques. So we have the first one. We have to assess the situation and remember your training. So first, be calm. Most importantly, don't panic, be calm and pinpoint the subject's position. Make sure medical aid has been summoned if it appears needed. The last one, keep curious bystanders from interfering with the rescue effort. So for the second one, planning the rescue quickly and calmly, prescribe patterns of rescue. A competent lifesaver follows as prescribed patterns, planning his rescue, and most consider his options before any action is taken. The pattern to follow is called the order of methods of rescue. It starts with easiest and most common and progresses to the more difficult situation. You need to plan the rescue and calmly. So for this, you need to reach, waiting and assist, throw, row, and go. So that's all for my discussion for the first aid and safety techniques, management of hazards, and the equipments needed in rescuing. I hope that you guys understand and learn from it. This is Kathleen Balahay. Thank you and goodbye.